Welcome back to our channel where we provide updates and undisclosed narratives on Catherine, Princess of Wales and her royal family. We are excited to share the following news: royal family speechless after what AI just found in Princess Diana's car trunk. A sophisticated forensic AI found a hidden compartment in the Mercedes-Benz wreckage that transported Diana, Princess of Wales, on her last terrible trip, shocking the world. Princess's sealed letters and other personal items were found over 30 years after the 1997 Paris catastrophe. These letters might change the British monarchy's last years. Princess Diana's car wreckage. AI reveals secret letters shaking monarchy. The Pont de l'Alma tunnel disaster killed one but spurred an endless inquiry. Technology revisits Princess Diana's death after decades. A cutting-edge AI named Horizon examined every inch of her famous automobile and found a 27-year-old anomaly. The lab gasped as forensic investigators reached the concealed chamber. "We have never encountered something of this magnitude," a scared project investigator told insiders. The machine found more than missing items, a revelation. The compartment's contents, a strange silver key, a charred portrait, and a trove of letters have left millions breathless and sparked worldwide discussion about the princess's life fears and secrets. What waited in the lonely, twisted trunk? Why was it discovered now? Crash Code 1. Peaceful London night, the basement forensic laboratory's air was cool and smelled of sterilized equipment. Many quiet servers flashed little repeated lights like stars. A towering glass box with Connection's high-resolution displays and a new forensic AI's constant hum dominated this silent high-security room. Horizon, a unique technology built by a small professional team of data scientists and forensic analysts, digitally uncovered neglected cold cases and brought the slightest traces of truth to life. The lab's control room crew watched their monitors, their faces lit by the display's pallid light. Horizon's greatest challenge was the last fragmentary evidence after a major public tragedy. Paris's climate-controlled police archive opened its massive storage door after 20 years. Dust rained like flakes when the industrial lock collapsed. Behind it was a sealed steel container containing black Mercedes-Benz S280 Rex. The car disappeared after the 1997 inquiry. That automobile transported Diana overnight. Brilliant metal faded over time. The collision bent and injured the trunk, making it appear like a mute witness who had held its secrets for 30 years. Under the archive bay's strong lights, white-gloved police collected rubbish meticulously. Although cameras filmed every gesture, the moment seemed intimate, like history was holding its breath. The trunk was securely carried to London, where Horizon awaited. After engineers directed robotic arms to raise the damaged lid, AI sensors began their careful work. Lasers detect latent fingerprint shadows around the room. AI carefully drew lines on the damaged main panel. The quiet facility's optical sensors hummed like a pulse. Nothing strange happened for hours. A screen flickered. Screens showed red lines. One tech remarked, "That's odd approaching." As it stopped searching, AI processors accelerated. The screen showed symbols, spectral measurements, and alphanumeric characters. It seemed static, a processing problem. Nobody puzzled the machine. It discovered something. Section Delta, interior trunk wall. "We found a structural anomaly," the lead engineer read calmly but excitedly. The AI detected a tiny rectangular chamber beneath the damaged metal behind sound-dampening insulation on the 3D trunk model. Room quieted. System examination showed the fragments were not crash debris. They created an AI-unfriendly form. Chemical residue from broken glue or sealant was found around the structural abnormality. We measured clearly and sensitively. A younger engineer spoke. "This was never in any of the official files," he added, examining the flashing data. The top scientist nodded quickly. "Scan again. Check everything." Horizon's lasers tracked the secret compartment carefully. Similar findings confirmed the warning. The concealed space exists. Something from decades ago had an impact. Life moved outside the lab. A Paris gendarmerie-connected journalist got ambiguous storage container reopening information. Late-night newsrooms reported an AI has uncovered a surprising irregularity in Princess Diana's automobile trunk. Social media spread it in hours. From London to LA, news headlines lit up phones and TVs. What was found? Why now? Nighttime crowds photographed outside the facility gates. Sad-looking flowers arrived. People hoisted placards demanding answers. Grief, perplexity, and infinite guesses from August 1997 returned. Years of stillness ended when a machine spoke. The lab staff sought to ignore the outside world's rising commotion. Horizon's last analysis screen was their emphasis. One line of text lit the black backdrop. Metals and chemicals were hard to read. Coded numbers and letters. Engineers examined each symbol. The AI ended with a strange trunk-sealed unit illusion. Scientist in charge inhaled slowly. "It wants us to open it," she claimed. The frigid air disputed her words. Years of uncertainties. That dilapidated Mercedes had a nearly 30-year-old secret. Computers said calm ended. The Thames lit up with London's city lights. News trucks crowded the street, satellite dishes pointed skyward, and cameras were on the lab's modest structure. Diana's last night story may alter after a discovery. Workers meticulously prepped tools. Despite the cold steel and dust smell, there was terror, exhilaration, and a subtle memory hurt. Last night in Paris, Paris sparkled with golden lights and roving cameras under a velvet sky. August 31st, 1997's late summer light brought romance and peril. Princess Diana and Dodi Al-Fayed quietly smiled at the Ritz. L'Espadon's dining area was boisterous and crystal clinking, yet their table was quiet. Diana's chuckle lightened a day of observation. They looked outside. Paparazzi filled Place Vendôme's tight lanes, eager to snap at every move. Their murmurs sparked evening anticipation. Diana and Dodi were trailed from Champs-Élysées stores to hotels all day. None, not even photographers, knew each flash's tale. Royal aides and private security watched from a neighboring office. Short, urgent calls, flight timetables, security updates, and city routes were assessed. They covered maps with one light to deceive journalists. Every choice has a subtle impact. Ritz temporary security head, Henri Paul, prepared for the evening's last drop. His quiet talk with security was drowned out by hotel equipment. A fast getaway via the back service door was planned to avoid the crowd. We wanted to avoid cameras, take a less planned approach, and give Diana and Dodi space. Diana leaned on Dodi in the imperial suite. The words and smile were wonderful, but her eyes were tired and worried. She observed the thickly curtained windows facing the plaza and whispered, "It's crazy out there." Dodi clasped her hand, promising to flee. An airy, dissonant fantasy dominated the evening. Exterior hotel cameras flashed like strobes at night. An unfamiliar call shattered the hallway's silence. The lobby whisper stopped abruptly. Small noises created an unexplained tension that made the night seem to be holding its breath. The gang retreated promptly as needed. Diana donned a black jacket and white tights, her hair sparkling in the hallway. Peacefully guarding Dodi passed her. Bodyguard Trevor Rees-Jones led them to a black Mercedes in the service lane via a secret exit. Outside, pollution and moist pavement met us. "Ready, mister?" Paul inquired gently from the driver's seat. The leather and metal doors snapped quietly and strongly. A decoy fooled photographers. Another car exiting the front entry shut off the hotel's flashing lights. Briefly, it worked. Mercedes headlights cut Paris's small streets at night. Cities weren't quiet for too long. Behind them, engines roared. Motorbike photographers seemed ghostly in rearview mirrors. Window reflections exploded midnight flashes. The pursuit began. Diana turned her face pallid in the thin street lamp light inside the automobile. Rees-Jones advised care in the front seat while Henri Paul rushed through traffic. Dodi spoke gently but forcefully. "Just keep going," he advised, focusing on the road ahead. Paris's lights and shadows swirled. Stone cottages and bridges brought back memories. Silver Seine ribbons sparkled at night. Continuing motorbike engine growling. Automobile stress grew. Another unexpected call ended. Unoccupied streets reverberated with pursuing engines. Behind, Diana clasped Dodi's hand. A black maw opened as Mercedes neared the Pont de l'Alma tunnel. Concrete and stone made it difficult. The tires sang when Henri Paul entered the tunnel. Inside, everything blurred. Bright light flashed. Too close engine roar. Tire screeching on concrete. A dreadful breath rocked the planet. A roar shattered the darkness as the automobile swerved, hit a pillar, and crumpled. Metal shrieked like pain. Paris woke up outside. The crash echoed through tunnel walls into peaceful streets. The quiet was broken by distant sirens' sorrowful wail. Cameras that sought smiles caught pandemonium. The frigid yellow tunnel light changed the black Mercedes' shiny surface into sharp, incomprehensible figures. Hood smoke smelled like death gasoline and metal. Knowing outside Paris takes hours. Continental residents slept in living rooms and bedrooms. TVs were blank phones, mute. Darkness changed. Quickly, history changed. Paramedics yelled against tunnel sirens. Nighttime cameras captured bits of an inconceivable calamity. Under steel secrets, every lab surface was coated in chilly metal and antiseptic air under bright, sterile lights. A steel table held the black Mercedes' crushed trunk, a somber reminder of history. A nearby monitor displayed the AI's cryptic code, which guided the gang to a new site. Time to show machine results. Gloved surgeons maneuvered accurately. A micro drill vibrated as forensics traced Horizon's shape on monitors. Insulation and twisted steel disguised the shoebox-sized container. Each metal entrance blocker seemed strong. A plasma cutter cut the last sheet sparks, and metal crunching ringing across the still chamber. Almost there, a panting engineer remarked. Thin metal plate crumpled. A rusty, time-scented blackness lurked underneath. A little dark gray metal box was within. Heat browned its edges, yet they remained intact. Room quieted. As the cage absorbed lighting, HD cameras caught every movement. The chief scientist examined it attentively. No apparent lock, she said, touching the pristine surface with a glove. It seems shut from within. To disturb the seal without destroying the little box, with sensitive ultrasonic instruments, required several minutes. After opening the lid, a mechanical sigh emerged, as if the air had been waiting decades to breathe again. 3 odd objects were within. A little silver key felt chilly and weighty in the scientist's glove. No lock was apparent, yet its pristine surface glittered like moonlight. Edge patterns were quite tiny and hard to see. Swatch of folded cloth arrived second. Silk or velvet was finely woven and dark blue. A strange crest depicted a silver falcon or hawk holding a leafless branch. Signs sparkled as time destroyed its hue. According to official records, no royal or aristocratic family owned it. Third item quieted the room. Frayed, burned photos. Diana grinned warmly in the middle. But nearby was another victim whose face was ruthlessly chopped off, leaving just a shoulder and arm. Missing substance hurts image with quiet interest. Who'd conceal it? Shaking, said a younger tech. And why none responded. Only the equipment's hum and the team's weak breaths filled the room. Scientists exchanged tables. Magnifiers offered nothing new. No fingerprint key. Mystery cloth crest. The photo's damaged edge revealed nothing about the missing individual. Every exam has additional questions. World rejected non-lab replies. A hazy image of the box from an anonymous source on the extended network leaked on a tiny online forum before the team could respond. Within hours, social media speculated. Timelines and news feeds were full of silver keys and half-destroyed images. Screens worldwide flashed secret, cover-up, and truth. People gathered. A mournful yet interested crowd gathered outside Buckingham Palace as lights lit the stone walls. As box rumors spread, Kensington Palace gates were decorated with flowers. Voices of amazement, indignation, and sadness rang forth. Some softly cried for the mythical princess. Others questioned a quiet monarchy. Emergency measured anchor reports rang out at night. Each silver key and burnt picture repetition heightened the mystery. Royal household tensions rose. Very well-written statement emerged within hours. A concerned public ignored its admonition to be calm until experts thoroughly and politely analyzed the findings. Premature judgments may lead to unnecessary pain for anyone concerned, sparked suspicion. Many were puzzled why the statement featured distress, but not truth. Lab workers worked nights. The key was scanned, the cloth DNA analyzed, and every picture grain was enlarged using electron microscopes. Although the apparatus buzzed, the things were quiet. There are no fingerprints or codes, just tranquil, weird alien creatures. The principal scientist viewed the table's ruined picture. The absent face occupied thoughts. Who accompanied Diana in this photo? Why shred and conceal the photograph in a car's compartment for tragedy? Faced her team. Someone wants them to survive, she whispered. They wanted them found. Her lovely confession filled the room. The corner TV played a reporter's voice hours later. Crowds continue to build outside Buckingham and Kensington palaces, the program said. The public demands answers about the odd things in Princess Diana's automobile wreckage. Lead scientist looked at lab lights attracting a silver key. In remembrance, the fabric's crest glittered. A narrative was in the faded picture between them. No longer secret, but uncertain. Key has no lock. The cloth has an unnamed crest, and the painting has an obscured face. Palace wall shadows. Heavy starless skies surrounded London. Buckingham Palace's lights tracked nightfall. Long, shimmering passageways behind huge walls were calm. Outside, the locked box, silver key, and fading image stories circulated, but here the air was heavier and almost audible. Top royal officials addressed a finding that might reveal long-buried secrets behind closed doors. Old candles produced lengthy shadows in a castle parlor with stoic ancestors' pictures. Heavy velvet drapes muffled the entrance shouts. Pale and pallid royals and their closest advisors gathered over a polished mahogany table. The first spoke gently yet forcefully. A senior remarked, "We cannot ignore this clasping hands on the table. Everyone saw the box. The key exists. Get ahead of this story before it devours us." An older, more cautious dissenter reacted promptly. "And say, they and we are equally unaware. The past is risky. Reopened wounds heal slowly." Debate slowed. Some favored disclosure, believing silence would increase suspicion and fuel the wildest conspiracy ideas. Some foresaw unrest and public family issues being exploited. Polite words and controlled tones could not hide the genuine anxiety. Beyond the palace, the world closed. Mall crowds were illuminated by news vehicles. Multiple exhibitions of the silver key and damaged photos compounded the mystery. A sudden knock halted the talk. An irritable employee hurried in with a silver tray of wrapped packages. A message from the forensic team. "Your Majesty," he whispered, setting it on the table. After breaking the seal, the lead royal read the short letter. Their eyes became gloomy. They added, "A person has contacted the AI lab into the silence. A retired Paris inquiry investigator. Charles Wright." Few in the room knew the name, but the message hushed them. The letter said this guy saw a detail in the debris that others missed, a piece of evidence that had plagued him for years. He was ordered to stop investigating. He may talk decades later. A more detailed report said that the assistant contests that the fabric crest and silver key insignia relate to everything he has seen in London. A classified repository, a royal storehouse. As stones dropped into a peaceful river, words fell. A safe storage space. A crucial tool. Rotating lock. The chamber shrank as knowledge spread. The car's enclosed cabin had no random things. The map and letter showed a secret chamber. London's doors only opened with Diana's car's silver key. "We must preserve the key," remarked one, prior to its acquisition by unsuitable individuals. Old, tired royals delicately bowed. Can she store her children's belongings in such a vault? A sensitive yet dangerous situation loomed. Nobody answered. Charles Wright strolled in a peaceful Thames View apartment away from the palace. Silver hair and face revealed years of untold memories. His phone displayed the AI team's secure number. His nervous, quiet voice connects to the call. He responded, "I am aware of the proper position of the key. I found mid-1990s private deposit box documents on my initial assessment. The archive, not the bank, secured it. Do not meddle. I was told not to. I regret constantly." The squad was captivated by Wright's crest, important inscriptions, and directives to forget. He confidently replied, "That key matches to a vault beneath the Royal Archives in Windsor. The vault had a bird and branch crest. Plans were made in the palace. Covert agents contacted the AI team at night. National security and royal property required crucial asset custody. The operation had to be quick, quiet, and discreet. The AI team declined to release information without a warrant due to bad weather. Their head scientist told an unexpected royal envoy at the lab door, "This forms evidence in a current forensic examination. It cannot escape our custody." The courier gently pressed. "You are oblivious of this hazardous situation." The scientist stared at him boldly. "My knowledge is deep. The key stays because." Impasse spread via whispers and ciphers. After spotting activity reporters surrounded the lab, telephoto plane scanning royal gardens. The lab's silver key was more than a thing. Devotion, heroism, and the delicate balance between duty and truth were challenged. The elder royal rose slowly, speaking calmly but firmly. "We are following illusions," they remarked. "A key opens the door independent of our movement. Confronting your fears is better than seeming afraid." They ruled silently. Hiding would hurt the monarchy. A royal archivist and independent investigation team advanced following an official request. Others left the palace. Angered and determined, Wright left his London flat in murky fog. He keeps hidden notes from decades ago in a drawer. He moved toward Windsor to ensure the key's arrival and avert another misunderstanding. Within Windsor correspondence, Windsor Castle was shrouded in a cold fog in the morning. The stronghold's ancient stones, silent witnesses to a millennium of English history, hid a fresh mystery this morning. A small crew of detectives and royal archivists followed the faint blue glow of a tablet screen that pulsed like a heartbeat in secret corridors beneath the luxurious state apartments. The little light was trapped by the silver key on the velvet between them. Puzzles lasted weeks. Horizon AI asserted itself following multi-night research. The key's micro-engravings match 1995 remodeling designs for a subterranean vault beneath Windsor Castle. The room was silent. Windsor Castle's walls hid a subterranean city of tunnels and halls. AI detailed underground stone chambers. "This is not a coincidence," murmured the investigator. "Image and key were meant to guide us." The head royal archivist led investigators via narrow stone stairs and strong iron doors. The footsteps echoed on old walls. They plummeted with cold stone time and lower temperatures and humidity. A single bulb lit a gloomy arching corridor. Like the key, the enormous iron door featured an engraved bird holding a branch. "This is it," said the lead investigator. The archivist put the silver key in the old lock. Time passed without occurrences. A deep, resonant click appeared to span the stones. Exhaling deeply, the unsteady door cracked open, expelling stale air. Small, empty room with stone walls and shuttered cabinets. The dim middle light revealed a polished steel lockbox. It was addressed delicately, even reverently. Silver keys fit perfectly in its groove. Lid creaked softly. The old faded envelopes were carefully kept inside. Diana's lovely penmanship was on each. Investigators were paralyzed. She wrote constantly despite doubts. The top letter was unopened. Her graceful, indirect approach conveyed anxieties that chilled the air. She felt hunted and quiet. She cited taped conversations and unguarded behavior. Author with intensity and restrained depression. "I am creating a new life without the long-standing shadows. Autonomy and expression are my goals." She sent another letter expressing her love for her sons, her hopes for their happiness, and her desire to free them from royal restrictions. She wrote every phrase with emotion, as if it were yesterday. Dark blue wax covered the stack's heavier bottom envelope. "For my sons" was carefully handwritten on the front. No one noticed when the chief investigator removed it from the container. Physical and historical burdens were virtually unbearable. Secretly, investigators agreed. The two people who called her Mummy owned the letter. The investigator cleared his throat. He answered this must be given to the princes, immediately unopened. Only one. Before making plans, information was revealed. Security and technicians informed the media. A whisper was noticed. From the chamber, the team entered a dynamic environment. New news was displayed in London. At night, the tale crossed nations under the banner "Secret Letters of Princess Diana Uncovered Beneath Windsor." Royal mansions drew emotional audiences. Grief, love, and loss flooded social media. Leaks of her anxieties and independence made her seem to reach out to others. Paris visitors decorated the Pont de l'Alma tunnel with flowers. Diana appears in NYC skyscraper ads. Sydney Harbor residents spoke of a woman who had won hearts worldwide. The atmosphere at Windsor Castle was electrifying. The finding caused a stir, so senior royals met discreetly. Some wanted her sons to get the letters silently and quickly. Others feared public outrage and revelation. "The world has already seen enough," said one expert. "The rest must remain private." A gentler voice replied. She said, "She wrote for owners, Not our call. Princes William and Harry studied royal chamber discussions. With the wax seal intact, the high-security envelope held the message for 27 years. Only they could comprehend their mother's legacy. Phones and lights illuminated the crowds outdoors. Others cried at Diana's endless affection. Others brandished justice and truth posters. A world that had never stopped grieving her sang against the castle's stone walls. The story of love, sorrow, and a mother's frantic attempt to protect her children left the detectives speechless. The day the world breathed, Paris awoke to eerie silence. The city, usually full of horns and people, seemed slow. Where tragedy struck like lightning, hundreds of candles and flowers covered the Pont de l'Alma. Faces of various ages stood shoulder to shoulder in dawn orange light. Some prayed while others cried over memories on the underpass's cold stone walls. London felt the same pain across the Channel. Kensington Palace was full with flowers and handwritten tributes for Diana. The black iron gates were crayoned by children. Hugging young lovers muttered and rustled leaves. On the bars, senior women trembled for a presence they could almost sense. Windsor vault revelations spread globally overnight. Broadcasters whispered, surprised. The discovery of Diana's letters made news worldwide. Over time, mothers talk. AI discovers truth. The letters, silver key-sealed envelope and quiet underground location were shown on screens. Airports, cafes, and trains spoke. Outsiders marveled. Children were hugged by mothers. Taxis turned on their radios for updates. It was like the forgotten princess had returned, conversing via pen and memory. Behind its centuries-old walls of triumph and sorrow, Buckingham Palace felt oddly calm. Two brothers sat in a peaceful study. A letter and an unbroken wax seal were in the envelope with a little wooden table between them. Prince William. Prince of Wales touched the page's edge with his thumb, stiff jaw, but ardent gaze. Prince Harry bent to study the letter beside him. Neither said much. Years passed with unanswered questions. "She created this for us," Harry whispered. William nodded in agreement. "She wanted us to find it. When ready." The brothers then made a rare public declaration. "We are tremendously affected by the warmth and concern displayed for our mother after the recent revelation. We read her last letters alone. We like hearing her voice again." The message spread globally in minutes. The Kensington Palace throng turned out their lights in tribute. The envelope's last sentences are for boys who lost their mother prematurely, provoking tears. It didn't silence the globe. Television and online debates about AI findings increased. Specialists reviewed the 1997 catastrophe with growing concern. Some said the hidden box and encoded key revealed a plot owing to study gaps. Several saw the letters as a mother's fears and hopes breaking years of institutional quiet. Despite the noise, a calmer presence appeared. The revelation seemed to calm the people during bereavement. Many letters were about love, not scandal. Diana spoke honestly. Closure, understanding her hopes for her children, and feeling her spirit comforting a hurting planet were investigated. Hourly throngs grew in the Paris tunnel. Pre-1997 children knelt with accident survivors. White rose petals sparkled endlessly in the wet morning light. The London Kensington Palace grounds were melodic. A wonderful song was played and the crowd quaked but participated. An unending song of love filled the universe. In the hushed AI lab, the truth-seeking device was kept away from monuments and cameras. Diagnostic code light broke. The final text was center screen, unambiguous, spooky. Though dormant for decades, truth remains. Silence reigned. The phrase was removed from system programming. Objectives were unknown. In the faint light, the machine's core transmitted a striking, practically sentient message. Astonished, a young engineer progressed. "It appears to comprehend," she whispered. Night fell over London. On Diana's tragic night, people revealed their locations on lit streets. Families worldwide watched the telecast, crying for a lady they had never met, but felt close to. In silence, the boys read their mother's parting words. The data was classified. Heart-only worlds exist. Public wanted a last, meaningful connection to the Queen, whose compassion and devotion altered the kingdom and whose love felt eternal. The discovery offered that. Thank you for watching the video. Please let us know your thoughts and say goodbye for now.